I supposed to follow that? I said to the other speakers, you've said it all. And then my daughter, give her another cheer. Man, she says it really well. So now you get stuck with Mom. So sorry about that. So I'm Diane Peterson, like they just mentioned, and I'm here to talk about the magic of plastics. Yeehaw! Yeah, for roughly half a century, we've been sold a false bill of goods. We've been told how plastics will be making our lives better and easier at nearly no cost. Plastics were magically and miraculously came from nowhere. They made our lives simpler, and when we were finished with them, they just went away. They were cheap, easy to use, disposable, a perfect solution to make our lives so convenient. And then at some point, a crying Native American created and came to us from the plastic industry. And that Native American showed up one day to point to us, to be mindful of our disposable trash. Industry convinced us, the consumer, and our local governments that we should take responsibility. Recycle was the new magic. And we, as responsible consumers and communities, should collect our plastics and ship it away, where our garbage would magically be turned into wondrous new plastic goods and wondrous new goods, a cycle that would repeat endlessly, seamlessly, and on forever. No worries, no cares, no negative consequences. It's away. And most of us bought this and played happily along, believing if there was any problem with plastics, the problem was with us, not properly utilizing the magic of recycling. But more and more the truth seeped out. The problem with the plastics is not just a alongside of the road trash problem. It is not just a let's all learn how to recycle properly and everything will be just fine problem. It is a not. We can keep creating and using plastic and it's okay. Another country will take it or tech will come along to save us. I cannot say this loudly or strongly enough. Plastics are toxic to us and our environment at every stage of their existence, from creation to disposal in heavy quotes. Plastics are everywhere. You know these facts. 150 million metric tons fill our oceans and 8 more metric tons are added every year. Plastic is found in the stomachs of birds and whales and the nostrils of sea turtles. And yes, we find plastics in 1 out of 3 fish, and by 2050, you say it for me, there'll be more plastic in the ocean than fish. We now know there is no away. China and other countries no longer are taking our plastics to recycle. And frankly, less than 9% of plastics were ever recycled. We know recycling was a false promise. And I just have to do this shout out. You Google up when you get home, Frontline, the plastic wars from March of 2020, and you will see us standing right here in that national production. We are standing right here talking about plastics. So the word is out, and the word is out from us. We no longer believe in the fantasy that plastic magically appears from nowhere. 99% of plastic comes from what? Fossil fuels. I know you know this stuff. It comes from oil and gas. It's time to break away from the magical away. Plastic can no longer be sent away. Plastic washes up in endless cycles of trash-filled waves. We have 6 to 7 gyres of plastic 7 stories deep in our oceans. And this is no longer just an away problem. Plastics are found in every waterway here in Pennsylvania. And you not only drink plastic every time you uncork your plastic beverage container, but every time you drink from your open glass, there is plastic from the air lying there. Every time you eat your food, there is plastic particles lying on top of it. We all have plastic inside of us. All of us do. Plastic pollution is not just surrounding us in our air and our water and our soil. It's surrounding us inside of us. It's inside of us. It's a problem here and now. We eat it, we drink it, we bathe it, and in Southwest Pennsylvania, we are about to exacerbate the problem by creating more of it. Like we said, 99% of plastics are made from fossil fuels. And beginning soon, our fracked gas will be cracked to make plastic pellets. I've been asked to talk to you about the connection of plastic to pollution. The connection is extensive, and I'm certain this mic will be taken from me long before I can tell you about all the pollution it causes. But I will share a little bit. Let's talk about pollution in regards to the creation of plastic, namely fracking. Pollution starts even before the process of fracking begins. Construction of infrastructure relies on an onslaught of heavy equipment trucks clogging our railroads, increasing toxic fumes to our air as they haul in all that stuff. And once construction is over, the process of fracking begins, and the traffic is not simply a sad memory, but it turns into a further nightmare with seemingly endless parade of trucks, thousands of trucks, hauling frack fluid, not water, mind you, but a proprietary mixture of chemicals to be forced into our earth and hauled out once more with more truck traffic. Hauled out, this time filled with used fracking fluid, even more toxic and now radioactive. And where will this fluid end up? In open retention ponds? Pumped into your waterways? Or sprayed onto country roads where school children walk? Or even pumped back underground? I know that earthquakes are not a pollution problem, but they are a problem. The connection to pollution and fracking doesn't end there. The chemicals are released into the air in every part of this process. Venting and flaring methane gas is a common and necessary act. Fracking pipes not only leak, but they sometimes explode. There are many toxics that come with fracking. This is just a short list. And you can ask any of these people. Bob, raise your hand. Nora, raise your hand. The people who have spoken, anyone, Terry, raise your hand. These people can give you endless amount of data on this. You just need to know there's a lot of them and they're not good for you. But let us not forget there's other types of pollution, and these things are kind of like sometimes whisked away. There's things called light pollution and sound pollution, and this disrupts not only our wildlife, but human life in very real ways. People who cannot sleep for days because of the sound, because of the light. These are real problems. I have not nearly exhausted the list of ways in which fracking pollutes, but I'm afraid I'm exhausting my time with you. Let me just say, we will soon be adding a new monster to our plastic creation and plastic pollution nightmare. We will take this frack gas and we'll crack it right here at Shell Ethane Cracker, not only intensifying the pollution problem beyond our wildest dreams, but bringing us to a new form of plastic pollution. And that would be nurdles, little bits of plastic. And other places where they crack gas to make these nurdles. These nurdles are found everywhere, in their water, in their soil, not their air, but everywhere. I'd like you to say with me these words that are very important. Plastics are toxic to us and our environment at every stage of their existence, from creation to disposal. I did not hear you. Okay, let's see. I want to hear me. I want to hear you over me. Ready? Plastics are toxic to us and the environment at every stage of their existence, from creation to disposal. So join me right here, right now, in my disgust and my determination. Let's work against the plastic pollution nightmare. Maybe we have lost the battle locally for now. But I'm determined we must work together to win this war. Join me. One of the ways you can do that, I have a flyer. Looks like this on the table. They're smaller and they are not in color. And they will tell you how to learn more about the Break Free from Pollution Plastics Act. Thank you, everyone. And happy Earth Day.